Ahead of the Monday Night Football matchup between the Minnesota Vikings hosting the San Francisco 49ers, Kevin Seifert of ESPN posted this on Twitter saying, quote, Kyle Shanahan has found his Kirk Cousins, Brock Purdy, whom the Vikings ironically wanted to sign as an undrafted rookie before the 49ers drafted him in 2022. And I know the easy thing is to say, oh, what could have been? Seeing how Brock Purdy has panned out for San Francisco, imagine him with Minnesota. But the NFL is the ultimate system league. It's more than just talent. Like the NBA, talent collectively makes the system. The NFL, it's about not just talent, but also scheme, coaching, etc. And I remember this years ago. A prime example of this on what used to be known as the SVP and Russillo show on ESPN radio. There was a soundbite of Tom Brady being asked, hey, if you weren't drafted by New England, what would your career look like? And he said, honestly, I'd probably be on my 5th or 6th team by now. That's the difference as far as the system league. So as we say, well, okay, Brock Purdy, if the Niners had not have drafted him with the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, and the Vikings were able to sign him as an undrafted free agent, man, what would that look like for Minnesota? Well, it's setting versus setting. Kyle Shanahan has developed the ultimate landing spot for any rookie quarterback to go to, a quarterback on a rookie contract to go to and develop. You've got Christian McCaffrey running the football. You've got George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the league, all-around player. Deebo Samuel, when he's healthy, he's dangerous. Brandon Ayuk, and you have one of the best defenses in the league. They don't ask a lot from their quarterback. But how he develops quarterbacks, and it says a lot as far as Trey Lance not panning out, even though they traded up to get him 3rd overall. It says a lot about him that if you're not able to make it in San Francisco, I don't know if you can necessarily make it anywhere else in the league. But you look at what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has developed over there in Santa Clara, comparing that to Kevin O'Connell, we don't know what his quarterback development skills are like. We don't know what Jaren Hall looks like right now if they were to go ahead and play him. We saw him a little bit in the preseason, but we don't know where he stands at right now. So that's number one. Number two, Brock Purdy had the situation to where the first 2 quarterbacks on the depth chart last year, Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance, they both got injured. So they had no choice but to play Brock Purdy after that. So he got his opportunities and he was able to shine. Furthermore, going into this season, Trey Lance just not where the Niners wanted him developmentally. So Brock Purdy, especially after how his performance went last year, he had the leg up over a guy like Trey Lance. Versus Minnesota, we got Kirk Cousins. There's no way in hell, and he's durable. There's no way in hell Brock Purdy would have ever leapfrogged Kirk Cousins. And besides that, who knows if he would even be the backup in Minnesota? Who knows if he would even be on the team? Because Nick Mullins is the safe route. Jaren Hall, I would say, is more talented than Nick Mullins, but he has been the backup. And even when injured, who knows? They'll probably elevate Sean Mannion at some point. I just don't know how they would develop quarterbacks, Kevin O'Connell and coaching company, but also as far as how they view the backup quarterback spot. Do they look at that as a position where it's like, okay, we want talent, or do we want someone because of who our starting quarterback is, we don't want them to necessarily be a threat? I don't know, but the situations are totally different, which is why you can't look at the report of what Kevin Seifert is saying at face value and go, oh my God, if Brock Purdy were on this team, think about how much different we'd look. Kirk Cousins would still be the quarterback. 2 totally different situations. Now, as an aside, furthermore, going into tonight's matchup, Monday Night Football, Vikings hosting the 49ers, Danielle Hunter heading into week 7 or going into week 7, it's almost over with after tonight, league leading 8 sacks, tied for league leading 8 sacks with TJ Watt. Ian Rappaport, according to him, and I think I saw this from Diana Rossini as well from The Athletic, that the Vikings have been getting calls surrounding number 99, but that also the Vikings aren't really interested in trading Danielle Hunter at this time. Is tonight Judgment Day for the Vikings front office to say, if you're right now you're 2-4, if you fall to 2-5, do you change your mindset and say, all right, let's go ahead and have the fire sale? Danielle Hunter, you can get a first round pick, maybe a first and a third. I have been adamant that you must trade him. Go ahead and get that draft capital to help you, not just with the quarterback position in next year's draft, but talking about rebuild. You want to add as many talented pieces as possible on a rookie contract. With that said, I'm willing to even budge, even if I somewhat disagree, that if you are able to extend Danielle Hunter, the reason why I'm saying go ahead and trade him is because Danielle Hunter, yes, premium position, one of the best in the league as far as being an edge rusher. Forget whether it's a 3-4 or 4-3, he can do it all. But the reason why I would say you would trade him is because he's getting older, and having Danielle Hunter at this stage in his career is, I think you're better suited getting that first round pick and then some, because he fits the mold of not a competitive rebuild, but a team that's a contender right now, where you're going to get 2, maybe 3 more years tops at this elite performance level that we're seeing right now. But if you want to re-sign him and extend him to another contract, I'm okay with that as well. The one thing that I'm saying that you absolutely cannot do is let this season play out, don't trade him at all, and don't sign him to an extension. Basically, he walks away for nothing more than a compensatory pick. You cannot do that. That would be roster management malpractice. I think this is the game where if the Vikings win, they'll be 3-4, and they'll say, you know what, maybe we can scooch our way into the playoffs. We'll see. But if you fall to the Niners tonight and you go down to 2-5, it will be very interesting. I think you have no choice but to trade Danielle Hunter at that point.